So, like I said, I'm going to break down. The Bible reference, like it says, the Bible reference is I'm reading from New King James Version, and I'm going to be reading Galatians 5:22, which says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness." So I'm going to break this down into three lines, and I'm just going to analyze briefly what the scriptural reference is telling us is all about. So, but before I continue, before I begin to break it to give explanation of what I want you to understand today about the Bible reference that I've just read, I want to read the first line to you now. The first line is, "But the fruit of the Spirit." But the fruit of the Spirit. Before I begin to relate it to transformation, I want you to understand what fruit is, the fruit of the Spirit. So let's discuss what fruit. Fruit. What is fruit? Fruit is result, offspring, benefit, gain, outcome. So when we say fruit is the result of something. The result of, it could be the result of your effort. It could be the result of your examination. Something that comes out from, it could be an effort that you have applied into something, and you will want to know what the result of that effort is. That's what comes out of that effort. You can, result, that's the outcome of what effort you may have put in place. That what your effort brings out. If we want to relate it to examination, for instance, examination is a test of knowledge. They want to test you what you can do, your understanding of a particular course, your understanding of a particular message. So they put you to test, which means that you may need to undergo a test or examination, so that they know how well you understand what you have been taught, or what you have learned. So when the result comes out, your performance is evaluated. So your understanding of that topic, of that subject, of the training is evaluated and measured, so that they're able to know your position. Your position in what your position, yes, just that understanding of what you have been taught. So the result is the outcome. After going through the test of what you have done, what you may have been taught. So the result is the outcome of the test. So with that result, you are evaluated. Your performance is evaluated and rated as possible. So we can liken result again, fruit again, to benefit or gain. When you have, for example, if you make an investment, you make an investment, you want to put your resources into use. You want to put your resources into use, and after a while, you may just need to watch over time, so that when the result comes out, or when the benefits, when the gain comes out, yes. If I'm going to explain what benefit is to you, we may want to look at it in gain aspect. So we want to relate benefits with to fruit. So when you've invested your money, You want to know the profit exactly. The profit, what your money has been able to give you at the end of the day. At the end of the time, when you would have, from that time that you invested it, all through those times, and then you want to know the end result of your investment. So that's the gain, the profit that comes out of your investment. So fruits is result, offspring, benefit, gain, outcome. So this is what we mean when we say fruits. So that's that. And secondly, fruit is positive. Fruit is positive. When we say the fruit of the spirit, fruit of the spirit is not something that is, it can't be something negative. The fruit of the spirit is always in a positive dimension. Positive, it can't be negative. It can't be a bad result or bad outcome. It can't. Fruit is something that is it has to be holy. The fruit of the spirit, it has to be clean. Fruit of the spirit, it can't be something that is negative. It has to be something that is good. Fruit of the spirit, as the Bible outlines it, fruit of the spirit is love. Love is positive. Joy, peace, long suffering. Okay, if we need to talk about long suffering now, let's just look at long suffering. Just like I've said, fruit is something that is positive, fruit of the spirit. But then the Bible says long suffering is a fruit of the spirit. But long suffering, what the Bible means is when we're going to talk about, when we look at long suffering, you may think it's a negative thing, but no, I won't agree with that. Long suffering, according to what the Bible says here, the fruit of the spirit, one of the fruits of the spirit, may be long suffering. If we're now talking of long suffering, we want to know how much tolerance you can have. So if you have tolerance for something, it's not a bad thing. If you have tolerance for something, it's a good quality, because if you don't have tolerance for something, you may decide to go off course. If you have tolerance over something, for instance, you're looking unto God for work, and then you know that you have to wait for some time. Sometimes work may not come on as fast as you may expect. I'm talking about employment now. Employment may not be an instant thing. That's starting from when you put yourself in the labor market. So you have two options rather. If you had to wait for 6 months, for a year, or as an alternative, you may resort to something that is not dignifying. And you may decide to take the wrong path. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not encouraging you to do that. I'm just saying that you have those two options: either to wait or to go on the wrong path. You know that if you are tolerant and if you have that endurance, you will have to wait for 1 year, before you get a job, or in the alternative, you can resort to derogatory activities or endeavor. So if you resort to an undignified activity, it's not going to help you. It's going to lead you to destruction. But on the other side, if you decide to wait for 1 year to get a job, it's all joy in the end. Because Bible says, call it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations. So that means that you may need to wait to get what you want. If you can wait and at the end of the day what you want comes to you, it's a blessing, and it's something that you enjoy forever. Because it is God that gives riches that adds no sorrows to it. If you decide to go off course to look for what you want, you may go in the wrong direction, and that's destructive in the end. So when you have long suffering, it's a good thing, because you work on your personal effort now. That personal attribute, the personal effort to wait on God. You wait on God for what you want, because God will give you at that time when He knows that He is ready to give you. So instead of rushing or hurrying and take to there, and then you need to take the wrong path, it's better if you wait on God, so that God can give you a lasting benefit, a lasting option, that will give you peace, joy, and blessing that will last forever. So that's long suffering is not a negative thing, it's a good thing. So kindness, goodness, faithfulness. So these are all the things that are the fruit of the Spirit. And if you're a child of God and then you want all these things agreeable to you, you need to wait on God when you are in that time that you need God the most. So that's that. So fruits of the Spirit. Fruits is benefits of gifts. So what I mean by that is gifts. Let's look at kindness, for example. I said fruit is benefit of gifts. What I mean by gifts in this instance is gift, your talent, your God-given talent. If you're kind, for instance, let me elaborate a little bit. If you're kind, for instance, you have a kind nature, it's a blessing from God. If you have a kind nature, it's a blessing from God. And